According to a survey from 2020, 37% of Americans believe that the government should be able to restrict offensive speech. Why does a third of the country believe that the government should be able to silence their fellow citizens? There's plenty of disagreeable things online. We see them every day. But does this mean that the government should be allowed to shut it down and stop it, given our First Amendment right to free speech? Speech should remain free. Silencing others does not change any minds. Have you ever been in an argument and had someone just tell you to shut up and you think that they won the argument? Did you change your mind? Probably not if you're anything like me. I used to believe that everyone who disagreed with me acted in bad faith, was uneducated, unsophisticated, hateful even. What I would like to look at today is some court cases which show the limits to our free speech in this country. Two in particular. One, a man burned the American flag in protest. Two, a KKK leader was giving a speech and was arrested and charged with a criminal syndication felony, basically, which put him in prison. The Supreme Court overturned both of these, saying that both of them counted as free speech and should be allowed. Now, why is this important? There are so many historical examples of people who should be offended and should want to silence people, but they don't. They stick up for the other person's right to have free speech and to speak their mind. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, is primarily staffed by Jewish Americans. Now, they fight anti-Semitism and racism all across the country. But who have they defended in the past? White supremacists, literal Nazis, people who want to kill LGBTQ people. Why do they do this? They do this because freedom of speech is important, and if you're only going to defend speech you agree with, then freedom of speech means nothing. It only means you agree with what you already agree with. Now, the hardest part is to fight for everyone's right to speak even when you don't agree with it. That's why this is so important. Think about people like Martin Luther King or any LGBTQ activists. What if someone thought that their speech was offensive because they advocated for their equal rights? Should they be silenced because they are offensive? I'll leave that up to you. So, why does over a third of the country believe that speech should be silenced? Now, this is not a justification for offensive speech, hate speech, racism, anti-Semitism, anything like that. It is only a defense of a person's right to have these ideas and voice them for others to hear. We are all allowed to speak in certain ways about everything. But if we were censored, everyone would have to speak the same way. Please understand why this right is so important and why people who are marginalized also defended the right. These people knew that their thoughts and their speeches could also be deemed offensive. Free speech allows them to make their voice heard. Offensive content is everywhere and it's annoying. We all see it, but you have to fight for their right to say it too, because you have to be principled. Either everyone can speak or everyone remains silent. You can choose the world you would rather live in.